Ooh, I'm excited about this one. It's gonna be good. Let's roll that intro. Alright, tonight, Booker's 2023 Batch 1, aka Charlie's Batch. That's what's on the table tonight. I'm excited about it because I love the Booker's series. I have historically really gotten down with Booker's. If you're not familiar with Booker's, this is made by the Jim Beam Distillery, right? Booker No is who it's named after, former master distiller. And what he would do is he would get a batch that he was really proud of, and he would barrel that batch, put it in a nice, damp, dark corner of the warehouse, his favorite spot in the warehouse, and just let it age, 6, 7 years. But then he would wait for that batch to be ready, and it was never like, I need to have a batch out at this time. It was always he would taste it, and he'd be, really insistent that we only bottle this batch when it's ready, right? So he's sampling, he's tasting. When the batch is ready, when it's fully matured, then we bottle it. And that's the Booker series. Uncut, unfiltered, so it is this one's 126.6 proof, so it's got some heat on it. So Booker's historically very high proof, very viscous and oily, coats the whole mouth, and is just a flavor bomb. Kentucky Tea, the last batch from 2022, was, I absolutely loved it. I was a huge fan of Kentucky Tea. I still have it on my shelf, nursing that one down real slow. So I've heard very good things about Charlie's Batch, and I'm excited to dive into it. So this is not a single barrel, right? That's the Baker series. It's a batch. Enough talk. Part of doing the Booker's thing is getting the box, right? You get the Booker's box. This is a really cool bar I was at today. Yeah, I took the wife out for a Mother's Day brunch at this country club, and their bar was really cool. They had Booker's boxes on their sides with the sleeve out, and they were using them to serve napkins and straws and stuff like that for your cocktails. Well, it was a really cool idea. But anyways, these boxes, this was part of doing the whole Booker's thing. Now, the Charlie's Batch is actually named after the guy who makes these, right? And makes furniture as well, but he's a woodworker, and he's been crafting their boxes for the Booker series since the beginning. So this is their way of honoring him. Every batch of Booker's has its own story, its own vibe, and pays homage to maybe a person in the in the family, in the Beam family, or connected to the distillery in some capacity. So pretty cool honor for him. Now, the Booker's bottles, I think, are just stunning. Beautiful design. And they kind of make me think of mead or wine. You know what I mean? I look at this bottle shape and I think that I'm about to have a cherry mead or something. But the age on Charlie's Batch is 7 years, 1 month, 8 days. So this is like Kentucky Tea, over 7 years, which is a good thing on a Booker's. If you get a Booker's that's over 7 years, that's up there in the age. All right. Listen. Oh. Name a better sound. There she is. Beautiful. The color on this is just fantastic. And I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if the camera will focus on it properly, but this thing leaves such a thick coating on the glass. I don't know if you can see that viscous layer of oily goodness on the glass. Oh, sweet glory, dude. The nose on that is phenomenal. I want to put this on my body. That's what I want to put it on my body. And I don't care how that sounds. I don't care if that changes the way that you see me or think about me, because it's the God honest truth. It's definitely got some heat on the nose, no doubt about it, but I get this sweet caramel pecan pie note. And it's like all I can think of now. And I love a good southern pecan pie. This totally gives me that vibe. That buttery caramel, those roasted pecan nuts after they've been baked, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely delightful. Also get maybe a little bit of a floral note in there as well, but it's not prominent, sort of just underlying underneath everything. Oh man, it is so sweet on the nose. All right, here we go. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Sweet glory. Okay. When Christmas time comes around, right? And most of the stuff that you needed to buy, you got on Amazon. But there's a couple of things, you're kind of running out of time. Not sure if they're going to get here in time, so you actually take a trip to the mall. While you're in the mall and you're walking down the main hallway and you smell those stands of cinnamon roasted almonds, that is this. Cinnamon roasted almonds. It's like sweet, roasty, and then you get the spice of the cinnamon there too. It tastes like dessert. It tastes like those candied almonds, cinnamon roasted almonds in the holidays. On the tail end, you definitely get that like characteristic barrel funk, of these bourbons that sit in that dark, damp corner for years. That's not a bad thing. I love that note. There's not a bad thing I can say about this. I mean, it's robust, it's assertive, it knows what it wants to be, and it does it very, very well. It's really different from the Kentucky Tea Batch, which I thought brought some flavors to the table that you don't come to expect out of a Booker's. A lot more medicinal and floral notes that are sort of intertwined with those, quintessential Booker's flavors. That was the Kentucky Tea. This one is more like, nah, we are a bean product through and through. Those roasted nuts, that sweet caramel, that barrel funk, and then they just like take it to the next level. Like they're like, no, we are going to crush it this time. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to do it really freaking well. That's what this is. Yeah, I can't get away from that cinnamon roasted almonds note. I think that's like spot on. That's like the most accurate way I could describe this whiskey to you. And the mouthfeel is great. Just completely coats everything in there. Very oily, very viscous. That is an incredible pour. I'm very happy with this. Now, typically, I don't get Booker's up here. When the batches release, it normally takes about 2 to 3 months, really, for them to start hitting shelves up here in Michigan. And even then, it's pretty limited stock. So big thank you to Matt Warren, who procured a bottle of this for me at MSRP in a store near him, and then sending it my way. Appreciate that, brother. Very kind to you. Otherwise, I would not have got my hands on this for a while unless I was willing to pay more on the secondary. But even on the secondary, like you can actually get Booker's at a pretty fair price. It just depends on where you're looking. So I gotta rate this, right? I gotta rate this. So we'll use that scale I came up with a couple videos ago when we were doing the Blantons, and I'm going to continue to refer to that system moving forward. I might tweak it here and there, but I want to try and keep it as consistent as possible. That way, the reviews and scores that I give will be a little bit more timeless. But I do know someone called to my attention. They're like, how much had you drank when you made that scale? Because you definitely spelled terrible wrong, which I did. And I apologize for that. I was trying to type that up very quickly while editing the video. But that was the following day, so I was perfectly sober by that point. So that's just an embarrassing oversight on my part. But I think I'm going to give that an 8.8. An 8.8. That is fantastic whiskey. Bordering into the 9s. Close to the 9s, which is phenomenal and innovative. This to me isn't necessarily innovative. It's just doing what you already do and just doing it very freaking well. Yeah, they knocked this batch out of the park. No doubt about it. That's a buy. But the Charlie's batch gets an 8.8 from me. Hey, if you're one of the Patreon supporters, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it because it helps to fund some of the bottles that I'm picking up each month to review and cover on the channel. So I really, really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Thanks so much for viewing the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like on it or subscribe for additional whiskey content. Otherwise, cheers. May you live richly and get better with age. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.